Welcome to Nature Book Review, a video showcasing books on nature and wildlife.
While having a trail into the forest, you might have come across a bird called kingfisher perching on a branch near a river, a stream, or a lake. How do you identify kingfisher? Kingfisher is a stocky bird. The tail is short. The legs are also short and stumpy. They are not useful for catching prey. The most striking feature you will see is the beak or the bill. It is long, pointed, chisel-like. Kingfishers are colorful birds. The males and females are almost alike. There is no variation between the colors. It is interesting to note that kingfishers were evolved from birds which were land feeders. Today, we associate kingfishers to piscivorous, that is, a fish eating habit. It is true, most of the kingfishers they feed on fish, but it is not difficult to see some species which are away from the water. Some of the species like pied kingfisher, we know it hovers around the water body and it can dive. Okay, now the kingfishers are solitary birds, except few species like kookaburra of Australia. Another striking feature of this kingfisher is their nesting habit. By using their chisel-like beak and legs, they make a burrow, excavate burrow into the vertical bank into the soil. Now this burrow can be as deep as 1 meter. At the end, the burrow is little bit elevated, probably to avoid entry of the water. The kingfishers are found in almost all types of ecosystem. They are found throughout the world, mostly tropical and subtropical. The kingfishers in the New World, neotropical zone, they are little bit less colorful than those in the Oriental region. The highest diversity of kingfisher you get in the South and Southeast Asia. Here is the book that tells us about the kingfishers of the world by Leslie Knowles and James Nichen.
Kingfishers of the World by Leslie Knowles and James Nichen. A common kingfisher with a fish. This book depicts more than 80 species of them. It is a Times Book International publication, Singapore and Kuala Lumpur, published in 1995. Okay, now let's go through the contents. Acknowledgements. Halcyon days. This tells us about little bit mythology from Greek era. Then introduction to the family Alcedinidae. Then introduction to various subfamilies like Daceloninae, Alcedininae, Cerylinae. Then comes bibliography, index of English names, index of scientific name. Let's go through the book. Acknowledgements here. Then this is the Halcyon days. Okay, Halcyon was the name given to the kingfisher in Greek mythology. So it tells about the different names used in Greek mythology. Then introduction to the Alcedinidae. This tells us about the overall distribution, morphology, natural history of the subfamily, that is all kingfishers. You can see the text is organized in 2 columns, fairly easily readable font size. When you go to the next is orders, the list of species given order wise, genera wise. Then starts the subfamilies. Now when you open up the page, you will see the kingfisher painted over here. Below that, few footnotes here, common name, scientific name, and the author, that is the scientist who first identified it with the ear. There's a map over here. Then other names, that is other common names. Then location, that is the distribution. Then habitat, description, food, voice, nest, and subspecies. So you can see it covers almost entire thing about the kingfisher. It doesn't have much description, very large description, but very crisp category wise. The other thing in this book is there are no photographs. All the photographs have been painted, hand painted. The description in the main description page is in the single column. So the paintings are very good, almost they fit the natural coloration of the bird. Some of the species are not been painted because of probably there is a rarity of the bird, or the photograph might not be available, nor the specimen in hand. So maps are also very good. So all the known subfamilies are described in this book. Whatever subspecies it has, for example, this is variable dwarf kingfisher. All the known subspecies are given list-wise, including the author, the year, and the distribution. At the end is the bibliography. It's very good, very exhaustive bibliography. You can see so many pages. Then index to common names and scientific name. One thing you have to remember, that these common names have been changed in the view of recent classification. So one has to be careful, or one has to tally these names with the recent ones. Scientific name might not change bit, only a little bit displacement between the genus. Okay, at the end you can see the photograph of the authors. So overall this is very nice book to have an overview of the kingfishers of the world.